Welcome to Season 2, Episode 2 of The Seven. I, of course, am your humble host and correspondent, Donovan. I, of course, am joined by our esteemed panel, which we are going to introduce right now. Up first, hang on a second, I got to mute Myron because it's, there we go. Up first is a man who whose football team is not doing that well, but I have a feeling, because Steve and I have we have sort of a standing bet. Whoever's team loses has to wear a garment of the other team. And I won the last time. Steve had to wear an Eagles hat and put it on social media. But I have a feeling that the Eagles are going to stub their toe against the Cowboys, and I'm going to have to wear a Dallas Cowboys onesie on the air. What's going on, Steve?
Shit, what's good? Thanks for having me on, brother.
Absolutely, absolutely. Next up is Mr. Lucario out there in the NYC. Are you at your crib right now? Is that where you're at?
Oh no, I'm in DC right now, actually. You know what I'm saying? So chilling out here in DC, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is not the spot, but you know, this is the spot that I'm at now. Hopefully the internet's working great because the internet's been crazy. You know, when you on a road, the internet be all funny.
Yeah.
So just hopefully this goes good. But what's popping, everybody? What's going on?
Appreciate you joining the show out there from DC. Lucario's in a different city like every week. It's kind of like Kevin. Next up, looks like you got a couple of hoes there. Solo TV 84. Like, what's up with just nobodies in the background? What's up? Like they trying to fuck? What's up?
I mean, this was just another night. You know what I mean? Out and about. My name is Solo TV 84. You guys can find out more what happened on www.patreon.com/solotv84. So I'll just leave it at that.
What's up? What's up with your girl on the right, man? Like what you talking about? What's up? What's she talking about? Like, who?
I mean, I can't say much. I mean, but they both are for the streets.
1,000. Yes, you were probably right, and they are dressed as such. So dress for the job you want, not the job you have. It appears these girls certainly are doing that. Next up, the man in Miami, Mr. Myron Gaines. Myron, what's up, brother?
What's up, guys? I apologize. I don't have my normal setup. I'm moving into the new spot, so I'm happy to be here.
Yo, I'm telling you right now, we saw Myron setup in backstage. Dude, his shit is hitting. So I'm very much looking forward to being down there.
Yeah, man. We'll see you here in Miami. We already got it booked. You guys are going to see Donovan here on November 19th.
That's right. I think we're probably going to spend almost a week down there in South Florida. And that, of course, is going to culminate in the appearance with Myron Gaines. Last, but wait a minute. Did I go through everybody already? Oh, okay. I guess I did go through everybody. Man, I'm slipping. My game is slipping, dude. Kevin Samuels, I guess he's running a little bit late. Kevin is actually the guy who gave me the show topic for today. Speaking of which, tonight's episode could be a little different than normal episodes. We're not ones to delve into politics. The reason for that is and the reason I don't really talk too much about politics is because I feel like there's so many people who know more about politics than I do, and I think I might say something that is not factual and it makes me look stupid. I know enough about politics to not sound stupid. So listen, I guess if we just want to go ahead and break the ice here, I'm a Trump supporter. That's just how it goes. Now, of course, I can't vote because I am a convicted felon. That doesn't mean that when I lived in Las Vegas, I didn't pay people of Hispanic persuasion to go and vote for me. Right? That may or may not have happened. But yes, I'm a Trump supporter. And the reason why is because it's just because of where I am in life. When I was 18, I voted for Bill Clinton. That was the right thing to do. Well, guess what? 4 years later, when I started making a little bit of money, I voted for Bush. I voted for Bush again in 2004. So this is where I'm at. If you guys aren't comfortable talking about it, that's perfectly fine with me. But what are you guys' thoughts, I guess, without getting too controversial now, Lucario, you're down there in DC. What is the political climate like as far as you're concerned without giving too much away?
Well, the thing is this, I was out yesterday. I saw some people marching for something. I don't know what it was because I was just out going to get something to eat. But people out here, there, you have your people split up. Some people for Biden, some people's for Trump. I don't like either. You understand what I'm saying? They're both ridiculous to me. So I don't vote for none of these guys. The only time I voted actually in my life was for Obama, and I literally just voted for him because he was black. That was it. So I enjoy the clown show, which it is. It's all a clown show. None of this matters. The only time things are going to change is if it benefits them. So all of this, you just got to sit back and eat your popcorn and watch what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
We're getting political ads literally like every 15 seconds. Let me just ask you this, just on a personal level. Do you feel, because listen, I didn't vote for Obama, but it's not because I didn't like it. It's just because his politics didn't line up with mine, right?
Right.
Man, Barack Obama's a good dude, right? Like listen, Joe Biden's a good guy. I don't think he's a bad person. I think in the deepest recesses of Barack's heart, I think he's a good dude. I think he wants what's best for America. His methods might not align with mine. I'm not about high taxes and this and that and the other. Do you, if you had it to do again, if you knew then what you know now, would you have voted for Obama?
Nah, not at all. You understand what I'm saying? If I had to do it again, I wouldn't have voted for Obama because, again, this is the thing. I knew it was going to be some BS anyway because that's what it is. It's all BS. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so, but again, I only did it because I was actually participating in the BS. You feel what I'm saying? Because truthfully, if I'm like, look, I'm just voting for you because you're black, that's BS. You feel what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you see what I mean? So, but then again, it's like if you're voting for them because of their policies, that's also BS because they're not going to do what they're going to say. So, So you just got to understand that it is all BS. You're in the matrix. None of this is going to matter, and just have fun. You know what I'm saying? That's what you need to know.
Listen, you're absolutely right, because it really doesn't seem to matter. And I don't know, maybe this is just me being daft, but it would appear that no matter who's in office, my life really doesn't change that much, except for when it comes to paying taxes. Steve, what are your thoughts on the political climate? Now, you live in the reddest of red states. Yeah. Where do you, and again, your dad worked for Fox News. Where do you stand on this stuff?
I'm all about money. So I vote where it saves me money. I don't give a fuck about anybody else. It's just excuse my language. It's just going Republican saves me more money. I hate making money and having to give it away to people who ain't doing shit. So I support Trump, but I don't vote Trump because I mean, all like Lucario said, it's sad. It's just it's a lot of puppet stuff going on. It's just like I mean, you can watch House of Cards and you can see exactly what's going on right now. It's just that again, the internet has a lot of people delusional and they believe if they see it on the internet it's true, or it's just the climate of the climate of young people today. They just are blind, stupid, dumb, naive, and they believe whatever Fox News tells them or whatever CNN tells them, and they don't even bother to look at the facts themselves. I mean, it's to a point where like 50 Cent said he was offered $500,000 to tell people to vote. I mean, that's how idiotic people are today. They'll hire a black person or go to a black church and they'll get you all hyped up and think that they give a fuck about you, but none of them care about you. None of them care about you. They just want that power of saying I'm president. That's all.
Okay. Very good. And I like what Steve said, right? So Lucario just said, hey, listen, I voted for Obama because he was black. Steve said, listen, I vote Republican because it saves me money. And the way I see it is this: as far as I'm concerned, as Americans, we can vote using whatever criteria is most important to us. If people want to vote for presidents who have a certain color hair, hey, fine. That's not something that I'm going to be down with. And I think that now, to me, that's kind of whack to do, but it is what it is. I think, and I've always said this: if I were a single mother of 6 and we're lazy, listen, I would have voted for Hillary Clinton too. If I'm a single mother of 4 and got 4 baby daddies, I'm trying to get Biden into office because I'm trying to live life on easy mode without having to do anything. So it really just depends upon your situation. Lucario. Now, I'm sorry, Lucario. I get Lucario and Solo mixed up all the time. I do not know why. What are your thoughts? Now, you're at, I guess, the epicenter of the racial social justice unrest, right? It all started with the George Floyd incident. And obviously, you know, Minnesota went up in flames and all this other kind of stuff. What are your thoughts on the current political climate without getting too personal?
Yeah, I mean it's heated, more heated probably than it's ever been or than it's been recently, right?
Right.
And you see a lot of unrest here and things, whatnot. I mean, it's calmed down, but then it picks up again when there's certain things happening, like, you know, court hearings and stuff like that. In regards to my political beliefs, I guess I would be more independent. Some would say probably a bit more libertarian. I don't know, but in regards to both of the options, I'm not hot on either of these guys, to be honest. So I'll be sitting this one out and watching from the sidelines.
Okay. Fair enough. Myron, now you live in Florida and specifically Miami. Miami almost doesn't count as America just because of the diversity that's down there. What are your thoughts on the current political climate right now?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's definitely going to be an election for the for the ages, man. With all the stuff going on with, you know, the beer bug and everything like that. So obviously, people are in a very emotional state right now with everything that went down this year between the beer bug, the protests, the police shootings, etc. So, I mean, me personally, man, I've voted since 2008. So, like, I'm a terrible person to ask. I don't really get into politics at all. But what I do know is obviously this election is going to be pretty big. It's going to be
okay.
Huge.
Joining us now, of course, the best dressed man on the panel, and like I said, probably the best smelling. Actually, like that suit. Is that new?
No, just broke it out of the closet.
Man,
it's fall, so it's time to change the material.
Oh, okay. I guess that is for another day and time. What are your thoughts on today's current political climate? Just to get this out of the way.
Well, the country is divided like never before, and along racial lines. Mm-hmm. Not say never before, but the first time post-civil rights era.
Okay.
Because race is injected into everything, the president that people continue to call racist. Yet when you look at his record, it just doesn't stand up to the criticisms.
Okay.
You know, I'm very much about, you know, fuck your feelings, show me the outcomes.
Right.
And more important than anything else, like him or dislike him, President Trump has the ability to walk with kings and not lose the common touch. He's a gifted politician because he's a gifted a salesperson. And he came from the world that closer resembles what you and I live in, even though he was born with the proverbial silver spoon. Why is it such a charged climate? Well, he beat probably the most feminist, womanist politician in my lifetime.
That's right.
He beat her grabbing vajayjays all along the way.
There you go.
He was not supposed to win. And then the fact that he came in being an unashamed man appealed to a segment of voters heretofore who had never been thought of, Black men. Black men, when you talk about the Black community, it means women and children. Black men were never counted. We were supposed to toe the party line. And as just like, what was her name on MSNBC, short hair, big mouth, talking about Black men and our unsolicited opinions.
Yes.
We were just supposed to go along, but finally, with the gender dynamic, the sexual dynamic, Black men are finally starting to say no more. These liberal policies, these democratic policies have given us the relational environment that we know. And regardless as to how any Black man is involved in politics or not involved in politics, you have dealt with the Black woman. And this is, you cannot throw a stone and not realize that a lot of it has to do with lacking traditional values, fathers at home, such and so forth. So bring us to forward. Ice Cube was he went to jail for saying F the police.
Right.
NWA, it was the original outcry. We had Chuck D, conscious rap before that. Martin Luther King, version. Well, he was more Malcolm X, but you get the point. And Ice Cube was the other side of it. And to see this guy come 180 degrees is freaking women out.
Yep.
Because he is talking about a politic that actually puts black men back in the conversation, and they're losing their mind. I'm sorry it took a long time on that, but it needed some context.
No, listen, I totally agree. I think, and the reason why, there we are, I had to mess with my camera. I think the reason why, one of the many reasons why Donald Trump won the election, I think one of the main reasons why he won the election is because enough was enough, man. Every time we turn around, we as men, I mean, dude, black men, white men, whatever, every time we turn around, we're being told we're toxic masculinity. You're not good enough. You need to, F this boys will be boy stuff. You need to listen and believe. The world, specifically the United States, literally shits on men. I mean, dude, the world doesn't give a fuck about us as it is. Now comes a president. And by the way, I think that it was the silent majority that put Donald Trump in the White House back in 2016. And I agree with Kevin. I think the silent majority, part of the silent majority, was black men. And again, you ask a traditionally masculine black man who he supports as president, I think it's Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. And Donald Trump is the first, I guess, politically incorrect president of my lifetime. Like, I can't remember a president that actually clapped back at his critics. Now, Barack Obama was the first president of social media. He obviously handled that very well. Obama was very, very skilled at, he's the greatest speaking president I've ever seen. Like, the guy was a Svengali. Mm-hmm. But Donald Trump he's the first president to sort of fire back. And everyone was like, well, he's not presidential. Well, the things that you say about him are not presidential. What you have a problem with is the fact that he actually claps back. And it's just like Kevin said, I totally agree. Black women freaking out about guys like Ice Cube, Kanye West, and now 50 Cent is on board. And I'm going to play some of this Fox Soul thing. I'm only going to play like the last 5 minutes because that's sort of where all the fireworks go. That's where the fireworks happen. But it freaks black women out because the highest value black men are already checking out. Okay. Mm-hmm. I did a Bachelor video on the Black Bachelor. Listen, man, 94% of black men are in relationships with black women. So why are black women freaking out that there are some black men that are opting to be in relationships with non-black women? Well, that 6%, that's the top 6%, right? They're not worried about the 94% of the average run-of-the-mill brothers. They're not worried about the 94% that includes the Pookies and the Ray Rays. No, they want the top level, high value, top 6% of black men. Well, guess what? Though that top 6%, oh, by the way, they're jumping on board with the Trump train. Michael Jordan famously said back in the day, Republicans wear sneakers too. And I still think he holds those beliefs. Now, he's probably not going to be as vocal about it as he maybe once was, but make no mistake about it. Donald Trump is the first traditionally masculine president who is unafraid to just be a man, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that resonated with a lot of men in this country who are tired of being shit on in every way, shape, or form. Kev, what you got?
You just teed up something that I was going to say. I think with Donald Trump, we're going to see in politics what's called the Bradley effect.
Okay.
1984, you asked people in L.A., a politician was running for mayor. Last name was Bradley, black man. And asked LA citizens, who are you going to vote for? And the politically correct thing was to say they're going to vote for Tom Bradley all the way. Bradley, he's our guy. But on election day, they went and they pulled the lever for the white candidate. Wow. And the thing is, when people go into a ballot, it's now called the Bradley effect. When people say one thing and do something different. The Trump campaign has made it clear that the tipping point in the entire election is to get 20+% black male participation voting for him. You're going to have more black men who are going to, yes, Joe Biden.
Yes, right.
They're going to pull the lever for Donald Trump because at the end of the day, they see a man in the White House. And they say, if we're going to have any chance at this country, and even if I hate his politics, even if I hate, misunderstand, don't even, not that versed, I do know one thing. He's not trying to gay us up.
Yep.
He's not trying to shame us. He's not trying to get our Gillette ads to tell us how toxic we are. He's embracing something that we sorely need. Reverse Bradley effect. You heard it.
Very good. I like that. Technomage B5 with a $10 super chat. He says, to me, independent is the only way to go. Politics is not like rooting for a team no matter what. They're supposed to qualify for your vote. Did the incumbent do a good job in his term? That's key. Yeah, that absolutely is key. And you know what? Sometimes it's really not about the incumbent. Sometimes it really is about the opponent. And I think that one thing that Donald Trump is kicking Joe Biden's ass over is that 1994 crime bill that was spearheaded by Joe Biden, which effectively stacked that on top of and this, by the way, this was during the Clinton administration. That was right around the time Clinton coined the phrase deadbeat dad. So now Joe Biden is calling black men super predators. Bill Clinton wants to take the licenses of black men who don't stick around for their kids and put them in jail. And now we have an entire generation of black people who are raised mostly by black. That's exactly what's happening.
That crime bill, that 3 strikes thing was only one part of it. That whole, we can get into it, but this is why they were so tone deaf.
Yes,
on this show, because Joe Biden was that 1994 crime bill was why we have the Violence Against Women Act.
Yep.
And a lot of the things, more stuff with Title IX, which gives us, so for people who aren't politic people, it gives us it gives women the license to be Me Too, cancel culture. It planted the seed, it planted the foundation for the stuff you're dealing with right now in your personal dating life. That's really why this is important.
Yes. No, I totally agree. And black men finally figured it out. They're like, listen, I want a president we don't even need a president to look out for us. We just need a president who's just not going to shit on us. That's what it comes down to for me. Counselor Murray with the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. Archie Engineer with the $10 super chat. Digital Nomad, $2 Canadian, says Kevin flexed so hard Friday, men's almost ripped suit. Very well put. BK Standard, $5, says it's too late for black women to vote for anyone other than a Democrat. They want the ability to clip their offspring at will, and they exercise that ability percentage-wise more than any other race of women. Oliver Eugene, $10, appreciate that. The Modern World, $2 Canadian. I think you mean Obamisha, the wife of Michelle. Okay. NYK of 31, $10, says, I believe Kevin is correct. I think Trump has awoken the masculine in a lot of men. Black men are speaking out against the liberal script more and asserting themselves. This is why they're freaking out that Ice Cube and Kanye and 50 Cent are jumping on board. And I think more is to follow. James, whatever, says, keep this content on YouTube. Don't delete it. No. Listen, I'm not going to delete it, but I'm not going to make it public. Would you like to know why? Because I don't want to lose my channel, right? Listen, check this out, man. I don't take pleasure in putting everything behind a paywall. I don't, man. But what
he really doesn't.
No, like this is the thing. For those of you guys watching me or this for the first time, I have been deplatformed off of every platform humanly possible. I've lost 2 YouTube channels. I've lost 3 Facebook pages. I've lost 2 Twitter accounts. I've lost 2 Instagram accounts. I was even deplatformed from SoundCloud, which doesn't deplatform anybody, Vimeo, which is a paid service, and Teachable, which I actually made money for. So he says, keep this content on YouTube. Don't delete it. Listen, I would love to, but I mean, listen, the climate that we're in, I'm afraid that's not possible, man. I do appreciate the $5 super chat, though. Next time, I would appreciate you asking me instead of trying to tell me, as if you have a right to tell me what to do because you've donated $5. If you need a refund, you know where to hit me. BK Standard says it won't be Biden's presidency. It's Kamala's. Maybe. Who knows? I mean, whoever knows. We're going to get to the video in a second. Just got to get through these super chats. Rashad Jones, $5, says, I voted for Trump and is the first Republican I voted for as president. I also bought a Trump 2020 face mask. I wear it like a badge of honor. Black Wolf Inc. said, peace to the 7. Salute to the Godfather. Appreciate that. Omar, wait a minute. Freelance Ronan says, you guys are hitting on all cylinders with the $5 super chat. There are other African-American content creators who wouldn't dare talk about the fact that they support Donald Trump for fear of upsetting their audience. I'm not going to make this a Trump thing. This to me is about masculinity and nothing else. So what we're going to do now, and by the way, shout out to Kevin for suggesting today's topic. We are going to break down the last, I don't know, 5, maybe 7 minutes of this interview. Looks like, what is it? Yeah, it's about 5 minutes. So Ice Cube did an interview with Fox Soul. Fox Soul, it's an all-black woman panel podcast, and they wanted Ice Cube to come on and explain why he sat down with Donald Trump and came up with this, I guess, this contract for Black America. Now, I haven't read the contract. All I know is what I've heard or seen on the news or on YouTube feeds. Kevin, do you know anything about this contract? Because all I know about it, okay. So please let educate those of us who are not as, I guess, as well versed in this.
Okay, broad shot. What Ice Cube did is he was asked his opinion about several political issues, and he had his general opinion. He went looking for the black plan, a black plan. Anybody who in politics or in academia who had basically put down a plan that was at least a framework that he could read. He couldn't find one. So, being alpha males, what did he do? He couldn't find one, so he made one.
There you go.
What he did is he put his resources. He went to academia. He put at the rally call saying, "I'm trying to construct a." I'm trying. Who just came in? He said he's trying to. What has happened? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm good. So what happened is he said, all right, I'm Ice Cube. I have a platform. He went out and started asking for assistance. He went out and sat down with economists, academicians, Dr. Claude Anderson of what was it? I forgot the book that he wrote, but Claude Anderson is pretty much black academic royalty. Okay. And he put together this plan, contract with Black America, that did not say people of color, that did not say minorities, specifically for Black people, American descendants of slaves, foundational Black Americans, us's. And that's what it was. And then he said, look, this is what I have, and I will love to, and he started taking all requests for him to come talk about his plan. He's gone on this podcast, this show, that show. He put feelers out to both the Democrats and Republicans. And what happened is both parties responded. The Democrats came back and said, great, dig your plan. Love to talk to you about it after the election. We're busy doing whatever. Donald Trump, on the other hand, said, great, let's talk about it now. And they've taken his plan as the foundation and they tweaked it and came out with something called the Platinum Plan. Ice Cube is not on record saying he supports Donald Trump. Right. Ice Cube did not sit down with Donald Trump. Ice Cube still is opening up anybody who wants to help with this, but it gave a starting point. Case in point, I'm known for high value, right? I didn't make up the fucking thing high value. I'm just known for it, and I put a little framework around it, but it started up a greater discussion, and it's made waves on content. That's all Ice Cube really did, and he's catching heat because he couldn't find something that should have been there a long time ago, and he made a statement of fact. Since the civil rights era, we have had 7,000 plus Black people elected into national politics. And since then, the wealth gap has not changed.
See that?
Why do we? And so basically the 7,000 politicians there and the wealth gap hasn't changed. That ticked a lot of people off because he was just stating facts. So now he's basically still doing the same thing. He caught D.L. Hewley, really made himself look crazy going at Ice Cube, saying that Donald Trump basically all he cares about is athletes and entertainers and this and that. What a lot of people are doing is they're not understanding what happened. They're not understanding why it happened. They're and going at Ice Cube he's like a poison frog. This is Mr. F the police. You can't say he's anything other than a man. So that's how we kind of got here. And this is the lead up to this. Even these women on Cocktails and Queens on Fox Soul. Ice Cube is responsible for Lisa Ray being who she is.
Yes, he is. Yes.
Okay. Vivica Fox, Selena Johnson, and Claudia Jordan. All these women know Ice Cube, have a personal relationship, and not one of them sound like they read the .gum thing.
Nope.
It's just pathetic.
Listen, we're gonna watch the last 5 minutes of this, and I've watched this whole video, but to distill it down to what the first 25 minutes of this video was, is Ice Cube is basically telling them, hey, listen, I came up with this plan. The Democrats reached out to me. The Republicans reached out to me, but the Democrats just wanted to talk about it. The Republicans wanted to be about it. Then he said, listen, since the 1960s, we've had 7,000 black elected officials or black elected officials, and nothing's changed. Now he was being nice, but what he meant to say is, hey, check this out. You keep voting along party lines. The Democrats ain't doing shit for black people. So now I'm trying to side with somebody who's actually about doing something instead of just talking. And now you have a problem with it because of who I sat down and talked with. It's just like other content creators who want to call themselves pro this or pro that. They're not about doing shit. Everybody wants to sit around and talk a bunch of stuff. No, man. The way you enact change is by doing things. Like what Myron do. He's flying people out. I've had people out. I'm putting together a conference next spring, early summer. Listen, I'm trying to change lives of men. I want to help men live better lives. Now, is it possible helping men doing, I guess, a podcast? Of course, because most of us watch this kind of content anyway. But if you really want to enact change, if you really want to incite change, you need to get in front of people and do stuff. You need to be in front of these people. You need to shake their hands. You need to look them in the eye, sit down and have a beer with them, a real conversation. And that's essentially what Ice Cube is doing. He's like, listen, man, black politicians ain't done shit for black people in 60 years. I'm about doing. I'm not about just talking. Let me hit these super chats and then we'll watch the video. Unique 79 with the 10 British pound super chat says, one of the many things people hate about President Donald Trump is that he is direct and doesn't care. He is a Trump. He sleeps at night and stands on his time. Salute, fire, panel. Very good. Ralph E, $10 says, we are living in times where free thinking and truth is silenced in social media through shadow banning. Freedom of speech is under attack, and this is the reason people are voting for Trump. I would agree with that as well. Omar Salah, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, says, Slay Savage, a.k.a. Pamela Molina, almost burned me. I took off before it was too late. Myron, you're right. She's a psychopath. LMFAO, learn my lesson. You want to expound on that, Myron? Like, what's
that's Jesus. She's an OnlyFans chick. That she's one of the girls that I taught how to make more money on OnlyFans. And I told him, bro, stay away from her. She was a chick that I hooked up with in the past. Whatever, man. Yo, this dude, why would you super chat that, bro? What's wrong with you?
Player foul.
Oh my God. Now everyone's gonna Google it and Messenger, whatever. Bro, Omar, you're an idiot, bro. That's all I gotta tell you. That's what happens when you simp. See this guy, Omar, guys? Everybody learn from him. This dude spent a couple $1,000s on a girl I warned him not to mess with, and look at him now. He's super chatting, trying to put her on blast. Bro, you fucked up and you're an idiot. I'm going to tell you that on the air. So this is what happens when you guys simp. He's an example.
Wow, there you go. You can't, these are conversations you have to have behind closed doors. No, we got 2,000 people watching. You're right. Pamela Molina almost burned me before. You're right.
I kicked her to the curb, man. I kicked her to the curb because she pissed me off. We hooked up. I tried to help her out. Helped her make more money. She disrespected me. I said, all right, get out. Boom. You know how I roll. And then I warned him, don't mess with her. Then his dumbass goes and spends $1,000. Like, bro, you're an idiot. I blocked him on Facebook. I was like, yo, you simping. But people want receipts, right? There we go.
Right. There it is. Right. Yeah. Omar, come on. We got to do better.
You're an idiot, bro. That's why I probably super chatted, because I blocked him.
Yeah, right. He knows that's the only way to, you know what? Actually, as a matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to block him because I did not realize. Listen, Omar,
I don't hate the guy. He's just a
listen, I don't hate him either, but that right there, that's literally the opposite of Dirty Mac. And why are you going to put somebody else's information out on blast? I got 2,100 people watching. We're talking about a whole nother subject. This dude wants to talk about a psychopath that he supposedly hooked up with to try to make everyone think that he's got your kind of game. No, Omar, you have no game. But I appreciate the $15.
He paid her a lot of money. That's the difference. I paid her zero money. He paid her a lot of money. There you go, guys. Don't simp.
Did he get the pussy though? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, but that transactional stuff.
There you
probably.
go. He got the starfish sex. Peace out, Omar. 94 says these women are supposed to be following the lead of their men, but instead want to compete and tell them what to do. AJRX says Lisa Ray McCoy at 53 years old has started an OnlyFans. AJ, I hope you're lying. Has Lisa Ray really started an OnlyFans? Can somebody look that up? Yeah. Somebody look that up. Somebody look that up because that would be very, very sad.
She did.
Yeah, she started it. She did.
Yo, the bitch
I don't blame her though, because you know how much money people making freaking Safari. You know, Nicki Minaj's ex-boyfriend. He's making like $5 million a month on that. So
you need to understand.
Donovan, you need
O'Shea had a preacher's ex-wife on his channel last year.
Yeah,
and she's like in her late 50s, early 60s, and in 2 days she made an additional something like $5,000, $7,500 in OnlyFans from men off of the manosphere. There's that 53-year-old. You know how many people got diamond fantasies and players club? Man. Come on, man. Guys on this panel get pussy. Okay. They're going to patronize her OnlyFans.
Okay, all right. Well, listen. I can't knock the hustle, man. Like if she's 53, she can't really do shit else. All right, we can make the money, boo.
I'm sure can't do anything else.
Have fun. Listen,
Harvey P. Henson coming next, I bet.
Oh, dude, Taraj. Oh, good God, man. Listen, I'm not trying to look at 53-year-old pussy, but if that's y'all's jam, cool. I ain't mad at you. Get swindled out of that money. Peter B. 499 says, where can I find the previous episodes of The Seven? www.patreon.com/Donovan Sharpe. There is no way on God's green earth I am ever leaving episodes of The Seven available to the public. Like they're waiting to take my channel down because of that. Like, no, that's not going to happen. Black Wolf Inc. says Adlai Stevenson, George McGovern, and Walter Mondale all have one thing in common: a massive landslide of 400 electoral votes. Biden has all the signs of why those men lost, and it's sad. Yeah, listen, I don't think Biden's a bad guy. He's just not. He's just not a good leader. His track record is.
I would never. A guy who says malarkey will never be president.
Malarkey. What a load of malarkey.
I mean, you can't. I mean, come on. And it's because somebody said it. You know how close we would be to having Hillary Clinton 2.0 in office.
Oh my God!
Because he's 70. He's in his mid 70s. Come on. We don't want her. No, so
nobody wants Kamala Harris, dude. Joe Biden doesn't want Kamala Harris in office. But you want to know something? Kamala Harris is his Sarah Palin. John McCain didn't stand a snowball's chance in hell against Obama. Obama was going to obliterate him. So he threw a Hail Mary. And unfortunately, that Hail Mary was not answered because Sarah Palin turned out to hurt him more than she helped him. So Joe Biden, the only reason, and this is what Democrats do. Democrats count on, like they use us every 4 years. Democrats, they count the black vote. We're automatically going to get the black vote. Joe Biden felt the black vote, the black male and the black female vote slipping away. Maybe not so much the black female vote. I know. I'll have Kamala Harris as my running mate, and that'll make everything okay. No, man, we're not that stupid. We're not that stupid.
As soon as he did that, I said he gave Donald Trump the election.
There it is. Give it to him. Chris Von Erich, $10 says most Trump detractors talk to how he makes them feel, mostly women and beta males, whereas his supporters identify Trump deals in facts. Yeah, #facts are stubborn things. Bramblebush says Ice Cube has always been politically aware. His first 5 albums were black nationalist masterpieces.
Yes, they were.
Masterpieces, yeah, very, very good.
America's Most, come on.
You know it, man. Daryl M 007 with the $20 super chat. And shout out to Jacob Morgan, who is now a new member. I just saw, yes, True Chino says Diamond Club WAP. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to watch the last 5 minutes or so of this particular discussion. And this could get political, but I don't think so. I just think I want to point out just how out of pocket these bitches are.
Oh, yes.
When they're going at Ice Cube. This is unbelievable. Here we go.
And these are a lot of things that really need to get done. So I wanted to have a serious conversation and not just a rally cry kind of conversation.
But you said that also that you would talk to anyone that was willing to help. You said you were.
I am, but I just said that they said they were going to call me direct, and I never got that call. So when you hear that, you're waiting for that call. It never came.
So no kind of way don't work if it's not the way that you started. You want it.
See that? You see what this bitch just did? Mm-hmm. Like Ice Cube explained to her, and again, I'm playing the last 5 minutes. What he explained to these women, the reason why he wasn't on some conference call with Snoop was supposed to be on the call and DL Hughley. The reason he wasn't on that conference call was that he wanted to be on a call with people who could do something, not people who were just going to talk. And there were legal ramifications, I think, because his lawyer is also represented somebody else in that camp. So there was sort of a conflict of interest there. What did this bitch get out of it? I don't even know who the fuck she is, by the way. Like, she looks like she's been ran through.
Lena Johnson.
Okay, whatever. She looks like she's been ran through, still trying to look 20 years old. Oh, so what you trying to say is that if it doesn't happen your way, then you ain't trying to have. That's not what he said. This is exactly what women do, is they misconstrue the message. Go ahead.
And that's exactly what happened. Fair use, by the way, fair use for commentary purposes only.
Yes,
so
thank you.
Keep your copyright strikes. To add on to what Donovan was saying, the Kamala Harris campaign had already heard about Ice Cube's contract with Black America. They had heard about it. They liked it and said, love it. They gave him political answer. We'd love to talk to you about it. And they left him sitting on red.
There you go.
They were supposed to contact him. They loved it. And then after all this other stuff happened, they came back around and didn't want to talk to him one-to-one. They wanted to talk to him and a group of other people who did not have plans. And he's like, wait a minute. I'm doing all this work. I got Dr. Claude Anderson and all these other people. And now you're supposed to talk to me one-on-one? I'm supposed to go out to you one-on-one and you want me to go on a group date? No, thank you. I got more sense than that. But I would still take the one-to-one date if you want to hang out with me.
There it is.
That's and they understood. He's been explaining this to them all day and they still don't get it.
I think it's not that they don't get it. It's that they're acting like they don't want to. Mm-hmm. Steve, let me bring you into the conversation, because one thing that's clear to me is that just look at your screen. Okay. Do these women look like do they look like they have any respect for Ice Cube? Like, the way these women are addressing him, that's completely out of pocket. How did women go from the 1950s and 1960s to these ratchet hoes? Okay.
It's our fault. It's our fault. If you look at people today, like Kevin was saying, a lot of these weak ass males are voting because they don't want to piss their women off, or they're not going to get any sex, or they're going to get in trouble, and they're going to lose relationships. So what you see is not because of men. It's not. I can't even blame mom. Mom has a role in this, but once you get out of the house, you got to be a grown ass man and you got to be accountable for what you do. And what we have right now is a lot of males that allow women to act this way. They're only acting the way that they have been trained to act. They won't act this way around me, but they'll do that around a sucker because that's what suckers do. So everything that you're seeing right now, you being mad the men are not mad at Ice Cube and not mad at 50 Cent. Their women are mad at Ice Cube and 50 Cent. So if their women are mad,
not only that, Steve, and I actually talked about this on an earlier broadcast. The reason why automobiles are so expensive is because we continue to pay for them, right? There's no reason for anybody to pay $65,000 for an automobile. There's just not. The profit margin's like 8 million%. But why does Honda continue to charge now $40,000 for a loaded Honda Accord? Because we keep paying them, because we allow them to charge us. If you want car prices to go down, stop buying cars. If you want women to get in pocket, stop rewarding them for being out of pocket. 100% agreement there. Lucario, what are your thoughts on the way these women are communicating with Ice Cube? Because they have to, I mean, my guess is that they probably respect him, but they're not acting as though they do. So what's really going on here?
Well, see, the thing is the reason why all of this stuff is happening this way, and unfortunately, what guys have to understand is that some women are not qualified to have certain conversations with men. So the problem is Ice Cube. What he needs to understand is he needs to understand who he's dealing with in this situation. Yeah. So what happens is he's making perfect sense, but the women are coming at him on an emotional level. You understand what I'm saying? And so I forgot, this is a guy named John Henrik Clark, where he had this quote that says, you know, I only debate my equals, all others I teach. So Ice Cube needs to be teaching them, not debating with them. You understand what I'm saying? Because then he's making it seem as if they're on equal footing with him in the conversation. You see what I'm saying? But they're actually not making any sense. Because I watched the whole video, and he's perfectly logically telling them what's going on. Like you said, he's like, look, I don't want to come to the table with the people who don't have power to make change, because it's just going to be a bunch of lip service. And this comes off the rails talking about some other stuff. And so she's totally missing the point. So it's kind of like a waste of time for him to even necessarily be interacting with them that way. So it's good that he's on the platform so that he can, put the message out there. But there's a way that needs to be, there needs to be something addressed, and he needs to take the lead in addressing that. Even though he's a guest on the show, he still, as a man, needs to take that lead, understanding he's dealing with those type of women. You see what I'm saying?
Dude, 100% agreement.
Can I add something here too?
Yeah, go ahead, Kev. What you got, man?
All right. At the beginning of this thing, they were all like, the homie Ice Cube, he's my homie. I got your number on speed dial. He know Vivica Fox, set it off. They know one another.
Good movie, by the way.
Lisa Ray, they know one another. Claudia Jordan, they know. I mean, Selena Johnson, they know one another. They have people in common. But what they started talking to Ice Cube, they weren't talking to Ice Cube, the multimillionaire entrepreneur, media mogul, a platinum selling rapper, activist, such and such. They were talking to that nigga rapper of Friday. That's who the fuck they was talking. I'm sorry, but that's how they start talking to this man. Don't forget the fact that he got one of the most respected black minds in economics here. They just talk to him like he's a dude off Friday. He let nobody to them. Damn, that's why I said this would be a good video, because it don't matter what a black man has. For some of these Generation X black women and these Lonnie Loves and all the other stuff, you'll still be that. We're still less than them. They're better than us. Ice Cube had the plan, but a bunch of women that didn't even read it knew better than him. So they felt like he had to answer that. Anyway, I'm sorry.
No.
If he was white, they would.
Exactly.
Hey, you want to know what? That's real talk. If Ice Cube were maybe Vanilla Ice, this is probably going to be a different conversation. See, black women are all about, why don't black men respect us? Why don't they protect us? Because y'all don't have any respect for us. I'm not protecting bitches who don't respect me. Fuck y'all. Solo, what are your thoughts on the way, because what Kevin just brought up was an excellent point. At the beginning of the video, Ice Cube, we go way back, got nothing but love for you, we're family, blah, 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 blah. Now they're talking to him like he's the nigga hanging with Smokey on Friday. What are your thoughts on why they address him like this now, where at the beginning they're giving all the peace and love statements?
Well, Donovan, it's obvious. I mean, this is, a situation of fake outrage, right?
Okay.
These women basically getting mad at Ice Cube for, aligning himself or supposedly associating himself with Trump. But these are probably the same women that know Donald Trump behind the scenes and have partied with him, and it was all good.
Claudia Jordan used to be on his camp. Used to be in his camp.
Yo. And Claudia Jordan actually said it. I used to be friends with Donald Trump. I think she's just playing to the crowd there. Yeah.
So, I mean, this is nothing new. I mean, a lot of this has been exposed. All these people that say, I hate Trump, even with Chelsea Handler, which you tried to do with 50, but they all have been partying. They're all in cahoots with each other, right? And so these women basically, and another thing is, a lot of these women, they're always mad on that show, period, right? We all know Lisa Ray's mad because she can never keep a man. Claudia Jordan, same thing. I don't know about the other two. So these women basically, it's just fake outrage. And Ice Cube is the punching bag, and he probably shouldn't have even gone on the show, in my opinion.
I agree.
Johnson is the only one that's married.
Yeah, listen. Wait, which one is married?
Selena Johnson, the last one that spoke.
Tell you what, right? But Selena Johnson is married, but she does not act, nor does she look like a kept woman. So that is a contradiction in and of itself. I agree with Solo and Kevin. I believe that Ice Cube made a mistake, and listen, I'm not going to blame him for that, but I think he learned his lesson. You cannot reason with women. These women are talking to him as though he were an equal or less than, just like you said, millionaire, entrepreneur, et cetera, et cetera. But right now, that's not the way they're addressing him. What are your thoughts on the way they're addressing him, Myron?
Yeah, man. I mean, I hate going after all the guys because everyone made excellent points. This comes down to, this is why I tell guys all the time, when you're on a date with a girl, if she mentions anything political, you don't talk about it ever. And the reason why is because, unfortunately, women attach themselves to politics on an emotional level, right? They don't attach themselves to it on a logical level. So, like I can't tell you how many dates I go on, especially right now when it's like very, it's a political climate, right? Oh, who are you going to vote for? Or what are your thoughts on Trump? I immediately deflect. Oh, that's classified information. I don't speak without my attorney present, or I'm negotiate with terrorists. Something like that funny, right? I just don't answer their question because I know deep down 99% of girls are going to align themselves on a liberal level. Because any girl that's conservative, she ain't going to talk about it. You know what I mean? If she votes for Trump or something like that, she's not going to say a word. So I already know just by a girl asking me about it, I know she's more left-leaning. And the thing is that guys got to understand what women will, a lot of the time I always say, like, girls are looking to disqualify you from mating, and then guys are always looking for a reason to qualify. So even if a girl likes you, she's going to ask that just kind of like girls love the emotional turmoil, right? So if like you say Trump, she's like almost going to want to argue with you, right? So I always say, don't give her that feed. These women are exemplifying what I tell guys to always avoid on dates. Unfortunately, for Ice Cube, it's an interview, so he has to answer the question, right? And kind of, I guess, explain himself a bit, even though, quite frankly, he shouldn't be explaining himself to these broads at all because they're not on the same level as him anyway. But this is just an example of how a lot of the times, unfortunately, guys, women tie themselves to politics on an emotional level because, I don't like the way Trump talks, or I don't like the way he does this. But what they don't realize is that when he was in office the past 4 years, the economy was doing excellent. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until this beer bug thing came that everything kind of got messed up. But no matter who was in office, he wouldn't have been able to fix that. So long story short, man, politics always stimulates some kind of emotional response from women. So it's always best to stay away from it. And I mean, this was the elf Ice Cube because like he's over here explaining himself to chicks that quite frankly don't deserve the explanation.
No, I totally agree. I think again, listen, his head was in the right place. Listen, I'm going to go onto this panel. I'm going to try to make some sense. I'm going to try to talk some sense into these broads, and it's just not going to happen. I think he's learned that lesson. Shout out to BK from the Rockies with the $10 PayPal donation. I appreciate that. David Nino Brown, $2, says emotions rule the community. Marlon Roll, $15, says great show as always, all the way from the Bahamas here. All right, good stuff. So we got people watching from around the world. Omega Legion, $5, says greetings. I don't even know why ICE is talking to them. All I see is 4 Karens bitching versus 1 alpha with a calm demeanor. They want that meat and can't have. Dude, real motherfucking talk.
I'll tell you why he went on there.
Why? Yeah, why did he go on there? And give me a second. I'm going to do something. Go ahead.
Go ahead and finish reading the super chats, or you want me to go down? Okay, why he went on there is he made the mistake of thinking because they have a have had a working relationship and have had an amiable kind of friendship that he was different. He went on there thinking that these are my homegirls. I've actually made one of you famous enough to be the prime minister's wife of Turks and Caicos from the freaking ghetto of Chicago. And her father was rich, but dope boy, whatever. Lisa Ray. And she's the only one that sat in her place because she understood that she's the reason Lisa Ray is who she is because of Ice Cube. But he went in there and they were asking him questions about, they treated him just like another N-word. That's exactly what they treated him like. Or why are you sitting down with a man who something at the Williamsburg rally and he said that a bunch of good people? Bish, he's talking about the plan and he wrote, and you talking about a rally 2 years ago. And Ice Cool's, I'm not here to argue about nothing. And you got Vivica all down his neck because she's got issues. Probably anyway. And we're talking about a man who's worth $160 million, and these bras can barely pay to keep the rent on.
Hey, listen, Vivica, we know why Vivica's mad, because she got alpha widowed by 50.
There you go.
That's what that is. Like, look at the look on her face. Like, look at the look on her face. Yeah, that nigga 50, that nigga.
I can't stand that, bro.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what, dude. Resting. Shout out to Freelance Run, another $5 super chat. He says they want things to stay the same. They are really saying, quote, how dare he take action and not pander to black women? They really don't want real solutions. I agree. They just want to sit around and talk. And Cube is about to check him on it. Medina, 10 euros, says, hi, gentlemen. Thank you for the great content. Continue spreading the consciousness. A question for Mr. Donovan, if you don't mind. Did you receive my email? I don't know, but I will check. I will definitely check. I have not been around my email today because I have been notoriously busy. Let me get through the rest of these. I'll be on the lookout for it, though. Jonathan Cow says controlled opposition, $2 super chat. AJRX says Ice Cube created Lisa Ray. Kanye West created Selena Johnson. Fabulous created Claudia Jordan. And 50 Cent made Vivica Fox relevant again. Ungrateful. I mean, look, this is how it is. This is what happens when you don't choose these used up bitches. Like, listen, Selena Johnson does not look like she's happily married. She looks like she's mad as hell. Who the hell is she married to anyway?
I don't know.
Some nigga.
But I mean, just look at how, I mean, you froze it. I mean, just, I don't even want to look at that.
Screen. Hold on. I'm blow it all up. Look at the screen, y'all. Look at the screen. This is the state of American black women, y'all. This is the state of American black women.
And this is even worse. This is the women in you, me, Steve. I don't know how old you are, Mr. Lucario. These are 40 plus. This is Generation X.
Yes.
This is why so many Generation X black men are laughing and happy and smiling because they escaped this.
Yep. And these bitches are mad. You want to know why we're mad? Because Kevin Samuels has 5,000 of these bitches watching his show every night. That's how we know they mad. BK Standard, $5 says, I refuse to talk about anything political with women. They simply wouldn't understand my view, especially the black ones. RD, $10 says, they weren't upset because he went to Trump. They are angry because they weren't included.
There
black
you go.
Aren't allowed to build unless black women also get credit for helping. Shake my damn head. Damn, I had never even thought about that. He
said it in that interview. They said it in this thing. He's like, well, you have a contract with Black America, but where's the part about the women? He said, well, wait a minute. You're Black America too. And they're like, We need our own section in this same video.
Ungrateful, man. The more you give them, the more they want. Black Wolf Inc., $5, says Ice Cube is really revealing the black elite complex. I didn't vote for Trump in 2016. All Trump 20, baby. The Fasting Chef with the $5 super chat says, respect to the panel. Great discussion. Donovan, step your game up. Certainly will. Cowdenicus, $5, says, what was their problem with Cube's black contract with America? That is a very good question. Let's find out.
Yes.
Well, I want to get things done. I don't want to just spin my wheels, talk to people who can't really make it happen.
Just listen. This is great. Listen to this.
No kind of way don't work if it's not the way that you started. You want it. Got it.
Well, I want to get things done. I don't want to just spin my wheels, talk to people who can't really make it happen.
There it is. He checked her. She got all of us. So basically, if it's not your way, it's no kind of way. Got it. He's like, nah, bitch, I'm trying to talk to people who can get shit done. Not people just want to sit around and talk all goddamn day.
So I didn't want to just,
well, you know they can't make it happen.
Yeah, she said, how do you know they can't make it happen? Unbelievable, man. See, it doesn't matter. He just hit him with facts. This is why I do what I do. All right. Well, I'm trying to be with people that can make. How do you know they can? How do you know they can make it happen? They're in power. Like, again, 7,000 elected black officials for public service.
But Donovan, if you look at what's happening with Ice Cube here, it's a money get. It's it's a little bit deeper than him. The reason he's doing on this, again, at the end, it's all Hollywood and the powers that be that he's got to please. He knows that he makes movies for black audiences and he gets a lot of money from the blacks. And if he's losing that audience, he's got to do this song and dance and go around and even talk to these women, because we all know on this panel, if Ice Cube was with these women behind the closed doors, he'd be telling these bitches, shut the fuck up. He was, he'll be saying all the stuff that we know he would say, but if you notice, it looks like he's biting his tongue a little bit, because he wants to really say what needs to be said, but again, he's got to get the women back on his side. He's got to get the blacks on his side. He's got to, because if he's promoting a movie or something like that, he's got to get that funding in before he does it. So it's a bigger game than what's happening right here.
Listen, I agree. I think he definitely has an angle.
That's a good point.
Wait, sorry, what was that?
No, I was just saying that's a good point, Steve.
Yeah,
Point.
I mean, listen. I mean, let's not pretend that Ice Cube doesn't have his own agenda, but I do. Listen, just because somebody has an agenda doesn't necessarily mean they're not trying to help anybody.
Because at the beginning, the very first thing out of Claudia Jordan's mouth was, she said, first and foremost, let's get this out of here. We're not canceling Ice Cube. Ain't nobody canceling him.
Yep.
And that's true, because because when you run afoul of black women, you risk your black money. That's the reality. And this is something that men are going to have to come to grips with. The reason, a big part of, well, I don't want, when they're spending 73 cents out of every dollar, and we're the largest, we spend most of the disposable income. They wield a lot of power, especially if you're dealing with a black audience. You know, Ice Cube is not making Lord of the Rings; he's making Friday and Soul and shit like that. Right. So what Steve is saying is right. You and I all know that Ice Cube was wanting to say, "Bitch, be set up." Sorry.
On Patreon anyway, man. It's all good.
It gets me so angry that there is nothing. You're talking about an accomplished brother who did the right thing, and there's nothing good enough for these women, because at the end of the day, black women are here and we are somewhere down here.
Dude, I totally agree. And it was something somebody else pointed out a little earlier. Black women want to be there to take the credit. Well, why didn't you include us? Yeah, that's exactly why.
This interview was an L from the jump, man. Like they were just waiting to just jump on him like a bunch of rabid dogs. You know what I'm saying? Like him coming in, like they already knew before he even came on the interview. We got our mind made up. We're gonna just like demonize him for even associating with Trump. Like, you know, as far as I'm concerned, he probably only went on there as a business move to kind of like, let's keep it real, because most of his, just like Steve said earlier, which he made an excellent point. Most of Ice Cube's viewership is African American. He makes the soul type movies, everything like that. So that's his audience. So he's got to go on a platform like this and kind of like rationalize why he did what he did. But it's going to come at a cost, because who's hosting this stuff? Women like that are going to attack him from what? A personal level on an emotional wave, right? So it's like it was an L regardless, because I think he kind of knew. His publicist probably warned him like, bro, they're going to attack you on this. But he was like, and that's why he stayed so calm. But I agree with Kev. Like if the cameras weren't on, he'd be like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Like he would have been like, off rip, you know?
But the funny thing is, a lot of young, well, I don't want to say a lot of younger, and I'm starting to hear more young women under the age of 27 start to, what made me feel good, I told you, Donovan, is look in the comment section. All the black women that were coming at these women.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's new. That is new. That is a last 12. This beer bug, is that what we're calling it?
We're calling it 91 Divock.
That thing. that has changed a lot of things. Even on my show, I'm starting to hear lots of women say, yeah, I'm getting away from my aunties, my nannies, them, because what they do don't work. And in the comment section, when we finish this video, if y'all want to go watch it, go look in the comment section. You got women showing their faces with their name, clapping at these women. I'm like, oh, where is this coming from? Because they're realizing that this ain't gonna work, because they're losing brothers under 30.
There it is.
They're gone. They ain't even trying to hear this, because they was raised by that.
You know what? Here's the thing, and I would submit this to you. And Myron, you said it was already an L when he went on the show. I would agree with that, but Do you think that Cube understands that women have a natural disdain for each other, especially black women? Right? Aisha Curry, listen, Aisha Curry, perfect example. She is or used to be the picture of black femininity and grace. And black women they loathe her because she represents everything that they will never be. Do you think it's possible that Ice Cube knows the true nature of women and that by other women, black women, seeing him attacked by black women, that would automatically sort of bring this thing up within them? Oh, they're going to start clapping back. Do you think this might have been sort of a power move on the other side with him?
Man, I mean, that would be next level type.
That would be next level type shit, right?
You know, if that would be next level type stuff, because his publicists would really have their fingers on the pulse. You know, kind of like we were talking about yesterday.
Well, they do, guys. Remember, 1991, bitches ain't shit. They've been here. The hip hop and street has been far ahead of white collar brothers. They've been out there longer because they see the street, they see the strip club, they see the game, they see the finesse, they see it. Yeah, I think that I don't think Ice Cube went on here to take an L. I think he went on here to play the long game, and I knew he was going to get attacked. I don't think he just went on to get savage. I think this is actually smart for him to do because he won several things. One, young women clapping back at him. Black men are saying, "See, this is why I want to vote for Trump." And then when he gave DL Hughley the middle finger, they all look bad because ultimately you're talking about Mr. F the police.
Ooh, wow! So it's almost like it, dude. Now listen, that would be some Jedi type shit, and Ice Cube is smart enough to pull something like that off, man. So
he left Jerry before the rest of them. Let's not forget, Ice Cube is not a dumb man.
You know what I'm saying? And he's talking about Jerry Heller, by the way.
Yeah,
the guy.
Jerry Heller. Thank you. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh no, absolutely. Yeah, listen, man. You know, not everybody knows we're dealing with the younger audience here.
I'll say this real quick because I'm gonna have to jump on Kev's side on this. Like his publicist probably told him, "Listen, this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna get on there. They're gonna attack your character. They're gonna say all these things about you. What you need to do is make them look dumb and stay calm, because." And that's what he's doing right now, because in the back of his mind, you could tell he just wants to.
Oh, you can tell. Look at his eyebrows, man.
You know what I'm saying? And the thing too is that, let's keep it real. He knows that he's like in Hollywood, they term themselves like, I'm an A-list celebrity, B-list celebrity, C-list celebrities. Like these chicks aren't even in the C category. These chicks are like D, F, Z. I would consider Ice Cube an A-list celebrity. So
that's right.
He's way beyond these chicks. So he's kind of going on there, letting them hang themselves because he knows they're going to have an emotional response based on his logical actions, right? And what's going to happen is they're just going to look stupid, and then he stays calm, and then boom, let the comment section, let the viewers come to a conclusion that these chicks are on some BS. And I think his publicist probably coached him like, dude, whatever you do, you can't have a meltdown. Let them be the emotional ones on camera. So yeah, I think it was a good move.
This is Mr. Are we there yet?
Right.
I mean, they look so stupid. That's why I said when DL did what he did, that was player hating, because honestly, he felt like he should have been at the table. And sorry, the market chose Cube. But as you play the rest of this, it worked in his advantage. That's why I said this would be so good, because this is what smart brothers are going to have to do. You use what you know to your advantage, because you cannot change the culture as it is like that.
No, I agree.
So,
I agree. It definitely takes time. Shout out to Omega Legion, who says sisters will shift on a moment's notice like a snake. Yeah, listen, man. I say this all the time. Women don't have any steadfast beliefs. Women don't believe anything. Women only believe what the strongest men in their lives believe. That's what this comes down to. They're just going with the flow. Archie Engineer with the $10 super chat says facts. BK Standard 88 says you can't cancel someone who made you. Well, listen, I think you can, but these bitches can't cancel Cube. I think that's pretty obvious. Blue Lion, $5 says this is a preview of what would have potentially happened to you had you gone on Dr. Phil's show. Yeah, that was an obvious trap. Like that.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. That was an obvious trap. I never considered it for 1 second. I was like, dude, are you serious? Does Allegra Hennington really think I'm that stupid? Like, dude, I used to write for. Come on, like, get out of here with that. I mean, again, women think we're stupid. Black Wolf Inc. says, remember, Vivica Fox's greatest accomplishment is staring on Funny You Should Ask every day, but still being the least relevant comic in the room. Oh, God. That's terrible. Sports Droppings with the $10 super chat. I believe that is Ty. I think that's my guy, Ty. Says, what most are missing is that Cube is setting a template for competing for black votes. Jews get commitments to Israel. Florida Cubans get anti-Castro. Feminists get abortion. We should attach demands. Okay. That's next level type shit. I actually quite like that. Okay, let us continue with the rest of the video. It's about to get fucking real.
When I had listen, because I had the conversations. When I had the Zoom call with the DNC, the Democratic Party, we was on the call for probably over 45 minutes, and we never even got to the contract with Black America.
There it is.
We never went through any of the points that needs to be dealt with when it comes to the situation in this country. No one else has a plan that deals with as many issues that this administration or any administration could fix if they had the political will. And you have to give them the political will. And that's what's being done. I didn't want to put anybody on blast for that, but since they saying I didn't jump on the call, it's because I was promised a call where we can actually deal with this in a serious manner. And it wasn't just what I considered a rally call.
But I feel like that actually could have been.
See, right there. I feel like this is the problem with women having conversations like this. I feel like, bitch, don't nobody give a fuck about what you feel like, man. Least of all the facts. That's the problem right there, man. Long sleeve aristocrat says, look at the difference. You guys give each other time to speak, let each other finish, etc. These clowns talking over each other and making unnecessary noise. Well, that's because I am the world's greatest ringmaster. That's part of it. Bramble Bush with the $20 super chat says the Democrats socially engineered black women to be their attack dogs against black men. They are the first line of the first line of attack against black women taking control of black society. Black men will always be undermined by black women, I guess, due to the exploitation of women's selfish nature. What are your thoughts on that? Let me get your thoughts on that, Lucario, because that's a very interesting statement there. Do you think that black women undermine black men because of the Democratic agenda?
Well, yeah, of course. Well, that's the thing. You got to understand that just in general in society, they always want to put black men and black women against each other. Because even I don't think we got to this part yet in the video, but there was a part where they were talking about he's doing this for black people, and then she's like, "Well, what about black women?" You know what I mean? And so now all that back and forth is causing friction to the actual progress of what he's trying to do. You understand what I'm saying? Just like what he just said, like, look, we was on this call for 45 minutes, nothing happened, and then she's still giving him friction after he says the actual thing that was going down. So it's like, I think what happens is that they're trying to cause friction in the situation, so the stuff that Ice Cube is saying doesn't actually get taken seriously, or it doesn't come across in a way where the actual problem's being solved. Because what Ice Cube is saying is, hey, listen, there's some stuff that needs to happen. Let's make this stuff happen. And these women are saying, well, what about black women? And what about, getting on the call with Snoop Dogg? And what about like deflecting all these other things that have nothing to do with nothing? You see what I'm saying? And so that right there is, that's a setup thing for, to stop the progress. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, listen, totally agree 100%. Anytime a woman or even a man, anytime they feel themselves losing a debate or a conversation, they will immediately reverse skate or change the subject. I was actually recently in the chat section of a content creator who had another content creator who I had some disagreements with. And as soon as I started pointing out facts, this other content creator started talking about something totally different. So that could be in the same vein. Solo, what are your thoughts on these women saying, well, I feel like when Cube is clearly just hitting them with facts?
Yeah, when you're having conversations, right, Donovan, and you know this as well as I do, in regards to certain sensitive topics like religion, politics, and gender identity or something with some of these women, you're wasting your time. And me living in one of the most liberal cities not just in America, but in all of the world.
Yeah.
There's certain conversations I just don't have with women because I know that they are looking for a certain answer. And if they don't get that answer, they're not gonna, you know what I mean? It's gonna be a certain type of situation. And even then, if you try to avoid those conversations, they will try to bring it up. You know, I had a woman recently tell me, how do you feel about the LGBTQVNYZD community?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so certain conversations like that, you sidestep, like Myron said earlier, like, oh, I don't discuss that right now, or, you know, we can talk about that later, but eventually
I can tell you, but I'd have to kill you, something like that.
Exactly. But eventually they're going to bring it up again. And a lot of these women, they don't even, they just follow along with what they think they should follow along because the media is telling them to, or because everybody else is following it. They don't even really make up their own opinion about these things. They just have a herd mentality. And especially Donovan, I'm sorry, I got to say this. I know you said don't do it, be politically, but with some of these liberal women, they have this like liberal guilt or white guilt.
Oh yeah.
Like, okay, cool. I remember, and I'm not saying it's all of them, right? But you got some of them. I remember during the George Floyd situation, I had more white women texting me than I ever had texting me. And I remember one girl even came over in the middle of the day, like in the middle of the afternoon to give me some pussy during my lunch break. You know what I mean? So,
it happened during Roots too, dude. When Roots was on in the 70s.
There it is. Yeah. Right.
But it's kind of like a lot of these women, they don't really know how they feel about these topics because they're manipulated by somebody else to how they should feel. That's what I'm trying to say.
And I think that is a symptom of the gross lack of masculine leadership. When there is not masculine leadership, this is what happens to women. Yeah. Steve, when you hear the term facts don't give a fuck about your feelings, these women are the embodiment of that. Explain to the audience why it is that it's never, ever a good idea to debate or argue with a woman.
Because she's a woman.
There you go. You've been married for over 20 years. How many arguments have you had with your wife? None. Exactly. And why is that?
Because she knows her place at the table.
There you go. There it is, man.
The bottom line is that women are emotional. I understand by even watching the video. I understand the women doing what they're doing. They're supposed to be like those. Just
right.
Their nature, right? They're wild animals, right there. That's their. Yep. They're supposed to get all out of shape, out of order, and all this other stuff. But I feel like the manipulation, like what Solo was saying, I feel like the manipulation has come on our part to manipulate them to think that they have a voice. Yeah. They got manipulated thinking that they're logical thinkers or that they have a say in anything. So, but again, they're supposed to be up and down, emotional, crying, yelling, screaming, and all the other stuff. But what happened was that too many of us are acting like them, forcing them to try to be like us.
There you go.
That's where the problem comes at. They're supposed to do all this stuff, but we are as well, not as men, but those males out there, they've got to do a better job of yanking these motherfuckers' chains at the door and not letting them get away with the silly shit they're getting away with. Everything that you see right now is because a lot of, and we're talking about black men, this is black women, a lot of black men are soft as fuck.
That's right.
That's the problem. A lot of black men are allowing this fucking behavior to go through. Maybe because they feel they attack on mommy or some shit like that. But these women shouldn't even be active. Like I was saying before, the way they are, it should be around white men. It should be the same way around black men.
There you go.
Be a color. Let me give you an example. Like they would treat us like they would treat a white man because we wouldn't tolerate it. They couldn't even pump enough blood in their fucking heart to go through their veins to even pop off the mouth with us.
Right.
But somewhere along their lives, somebody has trained them to pop off the mouth. That it's so not pop off, but it's okay to pop off the mouth, and it's okay to be manly because it seems like they're trying to be more manly than feminine, man.
No, listen, agree 100%. Now, here's the thing. Had they actually read this agreement with Black America and decided to have an opinion on it, maybe I would be more inclined to listen to what they have to say. But it's clear that none of these women read anything. All they know is that Ice Cube sat down with Donald Trump, and that's what they have a problem with.
And that's ultimately where you keep hearing them say, I feel.
That's
it's
it.
because they did not read it. They just got on here and think about what Steve just said. That if men were in the place where we should be, that women would know you don't even think to open your mouth if you can't at least talk on the level of, you don't just get to come up and just sit down and pull out your lady penis and just give us your opinion. It doesn't matter.
Right.
In our culture, in our community, that is who's running the house. That's mommy. Mommy can, anyway, man. I'll be on here all day going off.
Man, I'll tell you what, man. Listen, that's why you have your own show, right?
Right? I'm talking about tomorrow night. Yeah.
Hey, real talk. I'll be tuning in. Your ass keeps me up later than I need to be every night. Rob Cruz with the $50 super chat says, Donovan representing the original members of the Sharpshooters from the Towers. Says, salute to the panel, Lucario, Kevin, Man Mindset, Mr. Williams, and Gaines. Yeah, Rob Cruz is one of the original TSR OGs. Good to see him back in action. Lance Brown, $5 super chat, says Roland Martin was with Ice Cube in the beginning, but turned against him after the Trump conversation, I believe. Yeah, that's another one who's raised by mommy. Muslim Big Cow, $5 says, I honestly believe when they say about black women, they're really saying what white liberal feminists have taught them. Very well put. J-Dog, $5 says, I'm surprised they didn't hit Ice Cube with Yo Mama Black. Well, listen, that's probably coming. That's probably coming at some point. I'm going to finish this video. I got to get through these super chats here. Technomage B5, $5 or $10 says communication cycle. Notice how they don't even acknowledge his point, just go on their feelings. Why? Because he's right and they can't contest it on merit, period. This is what people do. This is what they do. Muslim MGTOW, $5 says, don't forget the white S-Master. Use the black woman to keep the black man on the plantation. Ooh, getting deep. Jason Bravo, $5 says, women like this don't just but the emotions to logical arguments, but they also bring intangibles that simply don't matter. Hashtag logic over feelings. Absolutely. Legend Skinner, $20 says, another reason why the division between us is so strong is because America as a whole does not want to see a season 2 of Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma. A lot of money is gained when we're divided and fighting. I agree with that 100%. Freelance Rona says, this is the real pro-black talk here. That's what this is. That's what this is, not just going with the agenda. Okay, let's finish out the video and get to these fireworks here.
Okay, because you could have led the call and had supporters on listening to what it was that you're trying to get them to be able to help rally with the initiative.
That makes no sense. Like, she's literally just arguing just to argue.
I had been doing press about the contract of Black America outside of that. So I was using my press to promote the contract, not just to them dudes on the call, but to all of America, to all of Black America. That's where my thing is. So I wasn't on the call, but that don't mean we couldn't have a call. So that's what happened. And I don't feel like I made a mistake for not being on the call.
Uh-oh.
I will tell you, we have to wrap the show. We're way over, but I just want to say, Cube, I hear what you're saying, but I just want you.
See, this is funny. We have to wrap, but I have to get the last word in.
You know, as Black women, how we would feel
as Black women.
There's no mention specifically of Black women in the contract with Black America. They do have to
stand on top of that. I just told you can write that up if you want to.
We're not out here jumping on calls.
We all Black, so we all.
We're not meeting up with Jared Kushner and Donald Trump about this. You are.
You see that? You are. See, we're all Black again. This is that's the real issue. He literally just checked her on that. He just checkmated her. He says, listen, you have the opportunity. You stood on that. I said you can write it up. Well, we're not the ones in power. We're not the ones meeting with Jared Kushner and Donald Trump. You are. And when you look at the expression on her face, it is very judgmental. Look at her face. This is a fucking bitch, dude. This is a fucking bitch showing her true fucking colors. Bitch, you are mad because he's doing shit and you ain't. Now listen to the rest of this. Is crazy.
So you can't say, well, if you don't like it, add to it. You're out here. You took that job. You took that position.
I'll write it up.
So like, don't say you.
Listen to this. This is funny.
I'll write up the Black woman's part of the contract for you.
Good.
And,
We got 200 million.
how many words do y'all want it to be? The thing is, you guys are the experts, but here we go again. You just want to talk. Nobody want to help me. Just want to talk. But y'all the experts on black women, so why won't y'all help me? See, that's the problem.
God damn. He just
got him.
Just cooked him right there. He literally just sharp angled him and gave him enough rope to hang themselves with. Well, it's not black women. All right, well, you can write it. Well, we're not the ones sitting with Jared Kushner and Donald Trump. You are. What does that have to do with the fact that he just told you that you could write a section in there? And look, they're still fucking mad. All four of them still mad. About what? About what?
I'm down for
I can
help.
tell you why.
You just let me know.
So
Now, the initiatives have already been set.
There it is. Ah! Oh my God. Look, yo, check it out. Check it out. Listen, I didn't even see this before, but watch this. This is Ice Cube dunking on these hoes, right? So the shit just popped off. All four of them are talking at the same time. Ice Cube keeps his cool and watch what this nigga does when they get done talking. Watch.
Watch. Now, the initiatives have already been set. So.
There it is. There it is. He literally just dunked on these hoes.
I wish listen, you guys, we are way over. We're way over. I wish we would have you for more time because I feel like you have a lot to say, Ice Cube, and you're very influential. And
no, we want to have you back on so that we can attack you some more. That's what this is.
We appreciate this, and I hope we can respectfully debate and no feelings hurt. I don't think you are the type that would get hurt. I appreciate y'all. I wish we could have you back and have more of this conversation. Would you be open to come back?
It's so funny. If you look at her body language when she is asking, just watch Claudia Jordan. Watch her body language. This is not an invitation. This is a challenge. Watch her body. You know what? Check this out. The best way to read body language is to watch it with the sound down. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Watch Claudia Jordan as she is asking Ice Cube to come back and talk to them. Just watch her in the upper left-hand corner. Watch. Just watch. Watch. See? Head to the side. Yeah, head to the side. Yeah, you see that? You see that? Head to the side. A little bit of sarcasm. Disingenuous asshole. I don't buy none of that, dude. I don't buy none of that for a second, man.
Of course, we family, and can't nobody hurt my family. Can't hurt my family.
Well, we're gonna have to right there.
Jesus Christ!
And right there,
telling them what they want to hear.
And right there is a man who has been well schooled in damage control and PR. He just solidified his money.
There it is.
He just solidified his money. He dunked on him. He allowed him to go ape shit crazy. He sat back and said, let me get my juice, and I'm going to give the closing statement to say, it's all cool, Queen. You got it. You my family. You can't hurt my feelings. Now, y'all come in and see Friday number 6.
That's what's up.
That's what he just did. That's why.
Because we're running out of time, Ice Cube, I would like to say right now, to be fair to you, and we really wanted to dig deep about the black woman part. I think that's very.
See, she has to get the last word in. We're way over on time, but I just want to say this one last thing.
Very important. And the lift every voice part versus the contract with Black America. I feel like there's more on the table, and I don't want to be disrespectful to your perspective and to the perspective of Black women. I would love to invite you back before the election. If you have time, I would love to do that for part 2 with Ice Cube. We gotta break now.
No problem.
Brother, I know your intent is good. We just don't like who you rocking with, but we know your intent.
I ain't rocking with nobody.
We don't see y'all. We don't see.
Look at that. They still couldn't leave his ass alone. That's the problem. I ain't rocking with nobody. Oh my God. Okay. Let's go ahead and
Oh, Donovan, may I say something real quick?
I actually just saw your thing up there. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Donovan, you were wondering why I had this background here earlier, right? You had the whole title of the Queens, right? And I was thinking to myself, okay, you know what? Let me get my troll on, right? And put this background here. Now, Donovan, let me ask you this. Do you think these women in the back behind me have issues getting a high quality man or man, period? No. You know what I'm saying? But those women there, the way they're cackling like hyenas, those are the same type of women. No disrespect, but those be on Kevin's stream with the cognitive dissonance, talking about they want a high value man, but they've been ran through, and that's why Lisa Ray at 50 has got to start the only.
Yo, Solo did not hit him with the motherfucking cognitive dissonance. Like, no, this nigga did not. Wow. Let me get the rest of these super chats, and then we'll give our closing statements. Muslim MGTOW, $5 says, "Do you sense that these women secretly believe that they are white women?" What do you guys think about that?
No.
You know, you think that I think they know. I think they
they wouldn't come at Ice Cube like that. Like the way they came at Ice Cube, they would never come at like a Caucasian film, actor that way. You know what I'm saying?
I sense these women.
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Kevin. Go ahead, Kevin. Then we'll go to Steve next. Go ahead.
I sense these women realize they're losing their hold on power.
Yep. Okay. Steve, what do you think?
Well, the reason I say I think they are, I mean, if you look at them, they're trying to resemble everything to be a white woman. Look at all of them have weave. All of them, again, if you notice, they're removing their hair and doing all this other stuff. It's just their black version of a Karen. You know, they just wanna complain or think they have a position against somebody who's sitting there taking it. He's taking all the body blows. He knows he has to take the body blows. So that's why he's biting as soon as the camera cut off, he's probably cussing up a storm, calling them all kind of bitches and shit. But he's got to take the body blows because the woman viewer that he's got to sell that ticket to or whatever, he's got to make he's got to make cool with the women now, saying that, okay, you can stomp on me, you can yell at me, you can raise your voice on me like a Karen. I don't know what you call a black version. I guess a bitch. I guess
I call her Karen White, Superwoman. Right? Black chick in the 90s.
Yeah, I just think they think they're Karens to him, man, talking all that stupid ass shit.
Listen, I think that we can call. I think we're gonna come up with a name for the Black Karen. I think that, listen, I'm gonna say a Black Karen is called Shakaren. Let's just make the Black Karen a hood rat. Very, very, very good here. Black Wolf Inc. says Cube is as cold as ice. Appreciate the $5 super chat here. Muslim MGTOW says Cube went straight up Islam on them. I totally agree. Okay, good stuff. So let us make our closing. Let's make our closing statements here. Lucario, let's. I'm gonna let you fire first, man. So sort of put a bow on this particular conversation here with these women in Ice Cube, man.
Yeah, I think one of the main things that I noticed, and this is the deeper issue, is the point where he said to them, he was like, hey, you know, what she was like, what about black women, right? And so he's like, look, we're all black people, it's about black people. So he's saying, what about black women? Because there's no respect for the black man. Because even, let's say, for example, he said an initiative for black men. Let's say he specifically said that. Even if he specifically said that, any woman, if she's a real woman, she's for her man. Meaning that if her man is right, then she gonna be all right. You understand what I'm saying? So it's already this disconnect where it's like, well, we don't give a damn about y'all as black men, so we're worried about us. You feel what I'm saying? Instead of worrying about the entirety of black people. You see what I'm saying? And so that's the bigger issue is it's the disrespect of, you know, black men. You see what I'm saying? In general, based off of that comment coming out of her and giving that friction in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, very good, very, very good. I do apologize. I didn't have the order up here. Steve, give your closing salvo on this. What does this conversation between these women and Ice Cube, what does that represent in terms of relations between men and women and black men and black women?
Well, it just represents that, again, Cube has really no power in all this shit. He's just a voice. He's no different than a 50 Cent saying something or somebody, another black man siding with Trump. He has no strength in the political field. But again, a lot of these guys, you got what I call, like, again, D.L. Hughley.
Okay.
A washed up comedian who all of a sudden he's all political now. You know, you know that the kings are dropping this way. So then what they normally do is they'll pick up the baton, and now they all about political. Hughley knows that he wouldn't say that shit in Q's face.
Nope.
And Hughley knows if Cube ever caught his ass behind the scenes, it's gonna be a done data. Yes, Cube ain't like, people see Cube as the director, and you know, smiling and you know
there yet.
That's a real bona fide nigga at the end of the day.
That nigga's from Compton. That nigga's from Compton.
Right. That's a motherfucker that's saying, you know what, fuck the Hollywood, fuck all this other shit. When I see DL, we're gonna have words, and that's how it should be. But getting back to these women, they just we gotta remember, guys, at the end of the day, all this shit is gonna come down to pleasing these goddamn women. It's not gonna do anything with these fucking males, because they're gonna follow the agenda of what the women want, because women are running most of these motherfuckers. So all right, Lisa Ray, I guarantee it. She's gonna be making millions on that OnlyFans or fan fucking or whatever the fuck that shit she's on. Right. She's going, because a lot of thirsty ass motherfucking foolish ass niggas goddamn gonna be following her ass and shit. That's right. This is how it is. It's just the educational black man, we will always be seen as a sellout. We'll always be seen as an Uncle Tom. We'll always be seen as someone that's trying to be for the white man. And even though it's like we're not allowed to be educated. We're not allowed to have thought. We're not allowed to have a fucking mind for ourselves to want more than fucking just sitting in the hood selling drugs and shit. But that's just how the world works, man.
Very, very well said, man. You're right. Black men are not supposed to be educated. I think the most dangerous thing to black women, as far as they're concerned, is an educated black man who understands his value. Myron, what are your thoughts on this conversation as it pertains to relations between men and women?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think people need to view this video as kind of a testament that you really don't want to talk politics with the opposite gender, because quite frankly, women are wired to be collectivists. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know, they always want to kind of redistribute wealth for everybody. And that's just how a lot of them, you know, their belief system naturally. You know what I mean? Does that mean that all women tend to hang left? No, but a lot of them do. So for the guys out there that are, you know, trying to be good in the dating game, date women, whatever it may be, to maximize your chances of winning, you want to stay away from topics like this, because as you guys can see, it elicits a very emotional response. You know what I mean? Regardless, and here's the sad part, you guys got to understand, Cube knows these women personally.
Yes.
And they still treated them like that on the air.
That's right.
So you think a chick that you meet off Tinder or Bumble is going to act, imagine how she's going to be. So I always say, stay away from politics, guys, especially when you're trying to work on seduction, everything like that, because it's just going to hurt you. And just understand that all these women, when they were talking, notice the first sentence was, I feel like, I feel that, I feel this. So you guys really, this was a great, I guess, teaching lesson to show guys that women always put the emotional first, man. It's just where they're wired. So don't allow her the ability to go off of her emotions and disqualify you on a date based on something that, you know, a logical belief system that you have that might be involved with politics. So just stay away from it, guys.
Here's something else to take note of here, is that when it comes down to gender or race, women will always side with their gender before they side with race. White women will side with black women before they side with white men. Black women will side with white women and white men before they side with black men. Never, ever, ever forget that. Okay, Solo. What are your thoughts on this particular discussion as it pertains to relations between black men and black women?
I mean, I think, Donovan, this is a perfect example of the state of, you know, the relationship, the social dynamic, right, in 2020, 2021, going into 2021 between modern black men and black women. But more importantly, like Kevin mentioned earlier, those Gen Xers, black women who are bitter because they're not wifed up in a white house with a picket fence, 2.5 kids, a dog, and a car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some people may say, well, Solo, you're projecting on furring. But once again, like I said, Lisa Ray, at one point, she was like the first wife of Dominican Republic or something like that. And then she went from that to like OnlyFans. I mean, that's a low fall off. You know what I mean? And so the reality is also another thing is, more importantly, when it comes to politics, I mean, there's a deeper agenda here. Ice Cube is actually genuinely trying to help, the community and trying to, move the conversation forward, but not just the conversation, but with action. But he has to play this BS game with the powers that be. And the women, of course, remember, Donovan, these are the same women that if you Google it, Oprah, all these women were all sitting on Trump's lap, drinking wine, eating caviar. You know what I mean? And now all of a sudden, when he runs for president, oh no, he's a dirty man. He's this and that. But he's got all these celebrity friends and all of that. So all these same women that are now saying Trump is evil, Trump is mean, were the same women that didn't mind sitting on Donald's lap, drinking wine and eating caviar. Always remember, don't believe everything you see and half of what you hear, and always do your own research, of course. Facts.
Very good. Kevin, what is your final take on this discussion between Ice Cube and these ratchets, and why is this discussion a microcosm, or is it not a microcosm of the relations between black men and black women?
First, thanks for having me on. When we mentioned this earlier, like I said, I'm tackling this tomorrow. Matter of fact, all this week's gonna be about these angry ass women. Okay. This is a microcosm because if you go back to President Barack Obama's first major initiative, My Brother's Keeper, $200 million supposed to be for young African-American men, young African-American boys and boys of color, supposed to help them not be lost in the gaps and everything else. And why did it get destroyed? Because black feminists demanded that girls get their portion too.
Right.
The black community, to be pro-black means to be pro-black woman. And this is a new pro-black. You see black men, very diverse backgrounds, different opinions, all standing on one accord, black men. And that for the first time, black men are finally saying it unashamedly, unabashedly, forget what you're talking about. You don't represent you don't represent the standard of blackness. We do. Steve was right, talking about the failed leadership, black men being weak and noodle back. Well, guess what? The only way you're going to fix that is we start punching each other in the goddamn chest and taking back what's supposedly ours anyway, not asking them for shit, but taking it from them. And they can come kicking and screaming, or they can be captive, or they can go away. But the old way just ain't working anymore. The new silent majority is rising, and it's black men in this country.
I agree. I totally agree. My final take on this is actually something that Kevin mentioned a little bit earlier. And I guess to bring it sort of full circle in terms of the relations between black men and black women, this is exactly why the top level black men are not dealing with black women anymore. Okay. This is why. Ice Cube he's one of the most accomplished black men in American history. Like, dude, he's a revolutionary recording artist. Like his career arc has had so many. First he was Fuck the Police, NWA. Then he did his own thing with West Side Connection, which for my money, that was my favorite album back in the 90s, the West Side Connection, Ice Cube, Dub C, and Mac 10. Dude, I still listen to that shit every once in a while. Mm-hmm. Then managed to seamlessly transition into a movie career. First, he started off a little tender with the Are We There Yet? Then he got into some harder shit. Ice Cube has done and accomplished shit that these women could never even think of. And he has receipts. What is he worth? Like $180, $200 million. He is easily the most accomplished on there. And these women still spoke to him as though he were an ain't shit nigga. So again, black women, if you're watching, if you want to know why the top black men are abandoning black women for greener pastures, or I guess whiter pastures, I guess I should say, this is exactly why. You can't even be Ice fucking Cube and get respect. If you can't get respect from black women as Ice Cube, you can't get respect from black women as nobody. That's what this comes down to. So listen, man, miss me with all of the bullshit narrative about black men this and black men that. Bitch, it starts with motherfucking respect. And if you don't, black men need to earn my respect. No, we don't. You guys need us. You guys need us a hell of a lot more than we need you. And that's why this is why you guys are fucking tripping. This little dynamic right here shows that the black woman needs the black man more than the black man needs the black woman. And now that this is shown, this is obvious, this is the kind of reaction that we get. Thank you guys very, very much for tuning in. Thank you to all of the super chatters. This was an unbelievable discussion. We are going to be back here next week, same bat time, same bat channel. I am going to end the broadcast with a basketball play known as the dunk, and we will say goodbye until next week. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. That fell kind of flat. Hang on. Let me make sure I can. There we go.
You didn't let me guys party, so anyway, the initiatives have already been set. So
I wish you